Welcome back to another week with Queen Bee Nomads. We are in the last stretch of our month-long Bahamas cruising in our new 40 Lagoon Catamaran, and we are crossing the Gulf Stream back into the United States in this episode, as well as showing you the next series of traveling on Queen Bee. Make sure to stay until the end. Before we get into our crossing, we have another day of an engine failing to start. It's our starboard engine again. Phil is getting a tad burnt out from all of this maintenance, but this is boat life, and if you want a boat, this is what life looks like.
It's doing more than just clicking.
Yeah.
The starter's turning.
Another day where the engine won't start. This time it's the starboard, at least the port engine's working. And today is the last day that we are heading to a key here in the Bahamas before we check out. Head across the Gulf Stream, back over to the state. It'd be really nice if we had both engines working. It's funny because the new friends that we made yesterday told us that we should just try to practice with only one engine, because it's bound to happen that an engine goes. And we said, oh, we don't have to practice. I guess it was kind of nice to hear that all of these other boaters are having the same problem. Sounds like it's like bound to happen. Phil is still looking up possible reasons the engine won't start. AI is a helping hand in these situations. There are two funnels. They're like water spouts. Wow, it's touching down over there. Great, and we can't even not even moving because of this engine problem. Verdict is starboard engine, no bueno again. It's not gonna work. So we're just gonna leave. And what do you think is wrong with this battery engine again?
Well, the starter's dying. I think I managed to coax some life out of it the other day, but it needs either more attention or a replacement. Probably needs to be rebuilt, if that's even possible.
Right, let's get this show on the road. We're off our anchor, but look at how much crud we pulled up.
It's 2:30 in the morning. We're just getting ready to leave Mangrove Cay and head back to the United States. Just have to check the engine, the one engine that's working, make sure the oil levels are all good, and we'll be on our way.
Oh good, our one engine has started. I was a bit worried it might not today for some reason. That would be all we needed.
So it's about 6:30 now. We've been motoring for about 3.5 hours, and we're just coming up to the edge of the Bahama Bank, where we have to pass through kind of a reef area or a shoal, and then from there we'll be in the Straits of Florida with the Gulf Stream, and then next stop is Florida. So I think our ETA is about, depending on wind, 8 to 10, maybe even 12 hours from now.
Living the dream, sailing out to sea. Welcome aboard our home, Queen Bee. Every day is treasured, every day feels free. We've came so far, now we're living the dream. Living life to the fullest. Every moment is cherished, every day is an adventure. It's like we found our treasure, nothing else matters. So long as we're together. We wanna capture this moment and bring you along for the ride as we share our journey with you. Sailing off at high tide, here's today's episode. Without further ado, sailing Queen Bee, sailing off into the blue.
Well, I've been on watch for about the last hour or longer. I was sitting up at the front. I was laying down on the bow, close to the trampoline. We have the autopilot on, but I find that on these passages where I feel any seasickness, if I lay down and just look at the clouds, it usually helps. I know everyone says look at the horizon, which I try to do that too, but the clouds also help me. I don't have the healthiest diet on any of these passages. There's only been about 4 times now where I haven't felt well, and I don't know. I've been told like that you'd be lying if you'd say you never got seasickness. In fact, Phil's laying down right now, but it's more of a nap, I think, but he tells me sometimes he feels a bit queasy. So the days that I have passages and I'm feeling any seasickness, I have ginger tablets to start with. Try not to eat a lot of food. Caffeine makes any seasickness worse. I have ginger snaps, ginger ale, and pretzels. I read by, I think it's John Kretschner. He's a very well-known sailor. I think it was him that said that pretzels help. Not the healthiest.
So it's just after 3 o'clock. We are about 30 nautical miles from the coast of Florida. Currently we have about over 4 knots of current in the Gulf Stream. We switched course a little bit so that the Gulf Stream's actually helping us push us to our destination. We were going to go to Port St. Lucie, so we're going to go to Fort Pierce, which is a little further north. So the Gulf Stream's actually helping. So now we're doing between 7 and 8 knots. Big wave. Yeah, we should be there. I think we're going to get there after dark, unfortunately, which is not something you want to do, but we just weren't going fast enough to get there. So we should get there around 8 o'clock. It's just 7 o'clock now. We're about 45 minutes away from Fort Pierce. We should make it in just before dark. Luckily there's an anchorage like right on the inside of the inlet, so we don't have to go too far once we get in. Hopefully the current's not too bad because we only have 1 engine, so it could get a little bit tricky if there's a lot of current. Luckily we're arriving right at high tide, which apparently is the best time to arrive, so fingers crossed that the entrance is okay.
We approach Fort Pierce in Florida with a population of about 50,000. We approach a wild inlet that we will show you in a moment, but that inlet hasn't always been here. Back in the day, local sailors had no reliable access to the open ocean. So in 1921, the community literally dug this inlet out by hand to connect the Indian River Lagoon into the Atlantic. It completely changed the local geography, created the intense currents we face today, and turned Fort Pierce into a booming maritime hub. In a 40-foot catamaran, the combination of a strong outgoing tide and incoming ocean swells can feel less like cruising and more like navigating a stretch of whitewater rapids. The cross currents really test your ability to keep the boat straight as the waves stack up around you. I can't believe we came through that. Before I get into what we are doing next, let me tell you our stats of the Bahamas. Nautical miles covered, approximately 470. Number of fuel ups, only 1 in the Bahamas. Number of grocery shopping trips, only 1 as well. Number of keys visited, 15. Our next trip is starting, so don't miss out on our intercoastal waterway trip from Fort Pierce, Florida, up to Deltaville, Virginia, and beyond to Chesapeake Bay. The ICW journey is approximately 900 nautical miles, and we have set aside 5 weeks to do it. If you want to catch the adventure, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification to never miss an episode. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.